Truck, how you feeling?
Oh?
Man, I just talked to Chuck for you. He's willing to give you an early look if Michael comes out hot again.
It's whatever the team needs, Coach.
Okay. We can't lose a fourth straight game to these guys. Your number gets called. Knock Michael off his rhythm.
Bad boys. Let's go.
Let's do this.
You're up. Come on. All right, it's time for what we talked about. Coach needs you to get out there, play defense, and make Michael work for it.
Coach, I'm going to make him work on both things.
No. Listen to me. I need you to focus on defense. That's it.
Coach, you know me. I'm going to do whatever you asking me. But right now, we start winning this game when we make Mike work each edge of the court. And I'm going to do that. I got you.
Get out there.
No problem, Coach.
All right, hustle up. Let's go. Let's go.
Here to the Palace in Auburn Hills with Joe Dumars dealing with the bad back and having a tough time, Clark, against Michael Jordan. The Pistons trying something different here, bringing Truck in early to give him a turn against the reigning MVP.
And you know, Kevin, to be candid, even before the back troubles, Dumars had struggled against MJ this season. Just 12 points per game on 29% shooting from the floor. Coach hoping Truck can stem the tide.
And we've said it before, but certainly some history between these two teams. Central Division rivals, the Pistons sent the Bulls home 3 years in a row en route to titles in '89 and '90. But with the Bulls championship and last year's playoffs, it seems at last they have the upper hand.
And so it's Detroit with the ball. The Bulls getting the bucket.
Jordan not letting his guard down against Truck, not relaxing at all, giving him his full attention defensively.
That one off the back iron and out. And Clark, the Pistons were that great roadblock to the Bulls' title aspirations. It seemed like every year Chicago got a little bit closer.
You're exactly right, Kevin. Each playoff, they pushed the series just a little bit further until finally, last season, they swept the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, breaking through to win the franchise's first ever NBA title.
And if I'm headed down the dark alley, I'll take Truck by my side. Nobody's going to want any trouble.
Yeah, I agree there, Mike. He doesn't say a lot. He doesn't have to. One look is enough for him to get his message across.
And a third-round pick back in 19... The Bulls leading by 9. And Jordan has it in the corner. Pass to Armstrong. This one for 3. Cans it from downtown. Armstrong's got 7.
You know, Armstrong grew up in the Detroit area, idolizing Isaiah Thomas.
And up until last year's playoffs, he'd really struggled playing here in Detroit. Some added pressure in front of friends and family.
And the Bulls, Mike, so explosive offensively.
A great 1-2 punch with Jordan and Pippen. And with Paxson, Hodges, and Armstrong, they surround them with shooters.
Nicely done by Armstrong there. Recognized the overcommitment from the defense. Got his teammate a nice opportunity.
Outside, Truck. From deep. Down it goes, his third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
And the league leader in rebounding, Clark, Dennis Rodman, averaging 18.5 per game.
Boy, that's a ridiculous stat. I mean, his defensive rebounding rate more than twice what it was his rookie season. I mean, he's literally made a science of it, studying where shots are coming off and how he can get there using his strength and length.
Truck against Jordan. Pass to King. Launches it. And Jordan coming right back at Truck.
I'll tell you, trying to defend Michael Jordan one-on-one is just about impossible.
Agree with that. Incredibly quick first step he has, and if he doesn't blow by you, he can probably overpower you.
Mike leading the league in scoring for the 6th consecutive season, the great Michael Jordan.
Surprise, surprise. A hair under 30 points per game this season, and that's a dip from what he's accustomed to.
5 on the clock.
You don't want to foul Armstrong. He's automatic shooting free throws.
For Chicago, they have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7. For the Pistons, Bill Lambert's checked in for Bedford. Rodman comes in for Saleh. And Aguirre's subbed in for Walker. The Bulls also changing it up. Bill Cartwright, he's checked in for Purdue. Grant comes in for King. And Scottie Pippen is subbed in for Hodges. Here's Truck. 11 points in the game. Right side, Rodman. Back to Truck. The 3. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots. And defensively, the Pistons have been, Mike, as stout as ever. But scoring the ball this season, that has been the challenge.
And their backcourt is normally responsible for the bulk of their scoring, along with Aguirre. But they'll need somebody else to chip in offensively.
And the Pistons with possession here. Following the miss by Michael Jordan. He can't get it to go. The Bulls leading by 10. Armstrong with it. He's picked up by Truck. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Truck. That is his first foul of the game. Joe Dumars, he's checked in for Detroit. John Paxson, he's checked in for the Bulls. Michael Jordan on the wing. That one falls, coming off of Paxson's feed. Jordan's got 22 points.
Flaunting his soft touch with the floater. There's not a shot out there that Jordan doesn't have in his arsenal.
And for more on Truck, let's go across court to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, big minutes for Truck, who's bounced around quite a bit. This is his 5th team in 9 seasons, so I'm sure there's added pressure for him to play well. Back to you.
Pressure indeed, D.A. Thank you. Well, we always talk about the pressure on the stars, Clark, but for those fringe players, they're just trying to hang around.
And now he's tasked with taking on the MVP, Kevin. That's a really tall order.
Using his stature to beat them to the rebound. Love to see a big man doing his thing.
Here's Rodman. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. And Mike, for the season, the Bulls are among the league leaders in assists at almost 28 a game.
They moved the ball well, and they had to improve in that area in order to finally overcome the Pistons' defensive scheme, famously known as the Jordan rules.
What an answer from Truck, taking the challenge against Jordan.
And the Pistons were very frustrated in their loss to Miami the other night. Coach got ejected, and there were 5 other technical fouls called.
And I think the Pistons frustrated just overall this season, especially when they've played on the road.
Now here's Paxson. Hasn't made one yet. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Cartwright. Rebound, Detroit. Lambert's got his 4th rebound in this one. And so far, the Pistons got to be happy, Mike, with what they've been getting from Truck.
He's played Jordan pretty even so far. Definitely holding his own. That's impressive.
They found something, and they're clicking now.
Their offense has put them in position. Now, can they keep it going?
Pass to Paxson. Pippen outside. Here's the teardrop. And oh boy, a lot of contact. Jordan getting it done for the Bulls. He has really delivered at the offensive end. He's torched them for 24 points so far. We come back right after this. And we're back for the second half of play here in Auburn Hills, Michigan, as the Pistons look to get a win against their rival, the Chicago Bulls. And so it's Pippen with it. He brings it up for Chicago. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. And a close game here, Mike, as we begin the second half.
Well, that's been the story in the previous contest this season between the Bulls and Pistons. Can Detroit follow through down the stretch?
Truck finds Thomas. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Dumars. Rodman passes to Lambert. Count that one. Lambert's got his first 2 points.
Nice find there by Rodman, leading to the bucket.
Chicago leading. Grant outside. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Dennis Rodman. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Jordan. He's got 24. A three-pointer is right on target. Jordan's got 27.
Jordan really confident rising up from deep. When he's in rhythm, he sinks these outside jumpers.
Well, we know he's bounced around, Clark. At times rode the bench, but Truck has always stayed ready.
Yeah, I respect that about how he prepares. A great teammate, a rugged defender. Here late in his career, he's fit in nicely with the bad boy Pistons.
Here is Paxson after Dennis Rodman's bucket there, and the dunk by Jordan.
The ball goes up, and Jordan brings it down. Nothing the defense can do about it.
Launches a three, and Trent with the reply. Not backing down at all from Michael Jordan.
Left him with room to launch. That's one he had to take.
Jordan can't get it to go. The Pistons trail it. Thomas dishes to Truck for the lead. That's off by Truck. MJ playing him close. Paxson passes to Jordan. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. And the jam by Bill Cartwright. And the Pistons coming off a 1-2 road trip, Mike. Their last game, a loss in Miami, where they shot, 11 free throws to the Heat's 41 free throw attempts.
Yeah, Joe Dumars was the only Pistons starter to get to the line. Meanwhile, everyone from Miami seemed to be living there, so that was the game.
Bulls leading by 3. To the middle. No good. Shot missing. Nice D from Lambeer. Cartwright's gone 1 of 4 so far. To the inside. Rodman. And then Rodman with the dunk.
There's no denying Isaiah's eye for the game of basketball. He sees all the angles out there.
Here's Jordan. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
No room for error there because he threw it down with both hands.
Pretty smart. Yeah, with the score this close, you can't afford any mistakes.
Boy, a miss slam would have been deflating. Nice to see him finish it off.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. The Pistons making a change here. Aguirre's checked in. And a change for the Bulls. Kings checked in.
You know, there's a sense in Detroit that they just don't get as many calls as they did when they were the champions. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's how they feel.
Yeah, rightly or not, they feel they're more scrutinized when they're guarding and not getting the benefit of the doubt when they draw contact on offense.
No good from Jordan. Pistons trail by 3. Kicks it to Truck. Rodman outside. Back to Truck for the tie. The rebound by Cartwright.
His shooting has just dropped off in this quarter. He needs to rediscover his rhythm.
Paxson passes to Jordan. Inside. And it's Jordan with the jam.
He is certainly a dominant player. Michael Jordan, when he's in the zone, unstoppable.
Outside, Lambeer. Truck deciding where to go with it. Here's Dumars, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot. And Thursday, the Pistons hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. Mike handing out free windbreakers to the first 4,000 fans. Pretty nice deal.
And for the fans braving the harsh Michigan winter, enjoy those windbreakers. You might want to layer up a bit with those, just saying.
And here are the Bulls now. Jordan, the pass to Hobson. Truck comes up with a double team. Now here's King. He's tightly guarded. Now Truck. Walker dishes to Thomas. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game. Now 6 for 10.
Good work inside from Thomas. He has a knack for knowing how to cash in from this area. Well, we've said the Pistons would need players to step up offensively. And, remarkably, it's been Truck who's answered the bell.
Mike, you know that has not been his calling card historically, but he's having himself a night for sure here.
Releases. Truck misses. Here's Chicago. Here's Jordan. And it's Jordan with the jam.
And Jordan able to get the Bulls back in front.
And so Thomas will bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. Trailing by 2. Pistons passing it around to the paint. And Truck coming right back at Michael Jordan.
And the Bulls are looking smooth as ever at the offensive end.
Mike, they're operating at peak efficiency, a well-oiled machine.
A different look here for Detroit. Bill Lambert's checked in for Bedford. Rodman comes in for Saleh. And it's Dumars in for Walker. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Bill Cartwright, he's checked in.
Big time! And Jordan pushing his team back into the lead.
Paxson against Thomas. And Truck gets it to go on the assist from Thomas. Truck's got it all tied up now for Detroit. Here's Jordan. The 10-footer. Truck with the block.
Truck playing with a lot of heart. What a rejection. Full effort all the time on D.
Banked in off the glass. Truck's got 6 in the quarter.
And Truck helping to push the Pistons back out front.
And here are the Bulls now. And Mike, how about Dennis Rodman? Averaging over 6 offensive rebounds a game this season.
And usually he looks to pass out. The Pistons wouldn't mind him trying to score a little bit more off those rebounds.
Paxson against Thomas. Lets it go with a 3. A rebound by Cartwright. Cartwright's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Jordan is doubled. Up top, Paxson. He's guarded by Thomas. Paxson passes to Pippen. Shot clock at 6. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. No good from Jordan. Grant against Thomas. A 3-ball. And Truck with the 3. Truck's got the lead up to 3 now for Detroit.
What a big bucket by Truck to help the Pistons retake the lead.
And for the season, Isaiah Thomas averaging a little over 7 assists a game.
Down quite a bit from his career average, but productive as ever with his scoring.
You know, Michael Jordan has led the Bulls to the playoffs every season since he was drafted. That's 7 times in all. But it took time for them to be a serious contender.
And the Pistons had been that obstacle in their path. But last season, the Bulls finally overcame them in convincing fashion.
Cartwright with a screen on Dumars. Paxson outside. Grant kicks to Pippen. There's the pass to Cartwright. Stolen by Thomas. Now it's Thomas running. He can go all the way. Money!
Not shying away at all. Fearlessly stepping into that big shot. Wow. Beautiful.
That takes real guts. I think this whole arena was holding its breath.
Well, Jordan has been fantastic.
And here are the Pistons. Outside, Truck. The tray. Good, and Truck had Jordan right in his grill.
Big-time bucket from Truck, answering the bell.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're behind by 4. 40 seconds left in the game. .40 left in the 4th quarter. Grant with a screen on Thomas. Here's Paxson. Pass to Carter. Now the feed to Grant. Michael Jordan on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
They want to extend this game. That's why they did what they did there.
Yeah, so they had to foul there. Need a little luck now.
And an intentional foul right there. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
Big spot here for Truck. Let's see how he holds up.
And he ends up missing both free throws. And they go to the intentional foul. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though.
2 shots.
That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that puts them up by 5.
Only 5'11" in high school. Robin didn't even make the varsity basketball team. Quite the story for the now 6'7" defense and rebounding specialist.
16 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Jordan, no good, and Jordan bothered by Truck's defense on that one. And so they foul intentionally.
4 personal fouls. Team 4.
He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6.
Hey, with the way he plays D, everybody loves to have a guy like Truck on their team because he can change games with his effort.
Jordan passes to Carter. Grant outside. And here's Jordan outside. Connects from downtown.
Stepping up, everyone holding their breath as Jordan proves the pressure is not an issue.
And the Pistons defending their court here at the Palace. Mike finally securing a win.
What? Yeah. I bet you Grandpa was feeling himself that night, huh?
He was proud, but it's not like he thought he was better than Michael Jordan all of a sudden.
I mean, I hope so. Hey, I love you, Grandpa. I do. You know I love you, but let's be real. We're talking about MJ.
The next time they played, Coach Daly put Truck on MJ to start the game. Jordan had about 15 points in the first 5 minutes.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But, you know, that's what made him great, though, right? I mean, Truck could get the best out of Michael on any given night. But Michael was going to use that as fuel and get the best out of you 9 times out of 10.
99 times out of 100.
Yeah, at this level, anybody could have a great game, son.
But only the greatest get it done every night.
So you have been listening.
Of course. Kind of hard not to. I mean, you told the story like 5 bunch of times, Pop. Kind of hard to miss the point.
You're going to get old, too. I hope you remember that.
Nah, I'm not getting old.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Now look at my knees.
I'm not getting old. I'm going to be just like this forever.
Let's circle back on that one, kid.
Love you, Pop.
I love you, too.
Dressed in their finest, the Mavs as they came through the tunnel earlier on, ready to give their faithful fans plenty to cheer about tonight. And it's the Mavericks to start out. And Greg, on paper, this looks like a real mismatch. These teams have very different expectations.
And in any matchup like this, the early stages are important. The team coming in as a big underdog has to keep it close, otherwise things can go south in a hurry.
And the Houston Rockets starting 5. The pairing up front, Smith and Şengün. The wings, Green and Brooks. And it's MP in at the point guard position.
I like how sure of himself MP is at the arc. He acts like he already knows the shot is good.
And it's Doncic missing. Rockets on offense. It's a 3-point game. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And they lost the season series to this squad last time around. Maybe a little extra motivation tonight to show they've improved.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Doncic with the bucket.
And Doncic loves the ability to respond with a 3. That is tough.
Well, Doris, some question, as you know, the move that Dallas made last season acquiring Kyrie Irving. They gave up a lot for sure.
Boy, they sure did, Kevin, and it was a high-risk move that obviously fell flat. For this organization, it has been trying to get the right mix around Luka Doncic. That is the key for them to succeed.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Houston. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And guys, they walked into the arena with a certain kind of swagger, and we really saw it play out on the offensive end.
And what surprised me was how easy they made it look. It seemed like they got something out of every possession.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. The three for Doncic. MP grabs the miss. Rockets have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Lets the three fly. Kyrie Irving with the rebound. Mavericks trail by 4. Outside Hardaway. From past the arc. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. Green, the pass to Smith. Good. Great play by Green to set it up.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Now here's Irving. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Clippers. There's 1:47 left in the first quarter. And when it comes to Luka Doncic, he's simply, Greg, one of the best players in the entire game.
No question about it. He's a threat to record a triple-double every time he takes the floor. As versatile and dangerous a player as there is in our league.
And it'll be the Mavericks with their first time out here of the game. MP really making a difference here.
Well, I think this is a necessary timeout so they can figure out a way to limit the impact this guy's having from three-point range. They've got to dedicate more resources to their perimeter D.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. Green comes in for Hardaway. And it's Hardy in for Kyrie Irving. And then for Houston, Tari Eason's checked in for Brooks. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Green. And here is MP after Luka Doncic hitting the three. The three from MP. It's rebounded by Dallas. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
Hey, they had their opportunities, but let's face it, they choked from the line. Hard to win that way on the road.
You've got to stand in and deliver from the free throw line, even in a tough environment, and they failed to do so. Well, so great when your offense produces a shot that close to the rim. The rest of the work becomes easier.
Dallas making a switch here. Jones is checked in. The Rockets also changing it up. Jock Landale's checked in for Şengün. And it's Green in for Jabari Smith. Now, here's MP. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game.
And it is hard to hold MP down. He just keeps coming at you. What a night.
Green against Green. Jacks up a three. And it's Doncic missing. Rockets leading by 6. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break. And that one's good. Hardy.
Boy, Luka Doncic showing good awareness and quick hands to make the defensive play and then get in transition. Nice.
MP up top. Guarded by Doncic. MP deciding where to go with it. Drops in the tray. MP's got 21.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
And I think the defender knows once he gets cooking, look out. The bucket looks awfully big.
And so it's the Houston Rockets heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And you have to credit their defense. Substitution changes. Brooks comes in for Tate. And MP subbed in for Fred VanVleet. And let's take a moment to honor the Western Conference Player of the Week, MP.
He's really been on his A game lately. You know, the way their offense is set up, it really relies on his ability. He sets the tone each time down the floor, and he's been a lot of fun to watch.
Irving, a screen on Green. To the middle. Got it in the Houston lead. Has been cut down now to just 7 on the bucket from Irving.
Gets in the paint and drains it. Kyrie Irving, show off that touch.
And so in the game for the Rockets. The Wings. Oh, my goodness! What a play!
And Kevin, even though they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular, and he did.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it. The Mavericks have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Greg, remember back when the 22-23 season started, the Rockets were among the youngest teams in the NBA.
And it's hard to win in this league with youth and inexperience. Houston's front office aggressively adding quality vets like Fred VanVleet in hopes of stabilizing that roster.
And here's Green. He'll bring it up for the Mavericks. Trailing by 5. And Cleveland slams it in.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Not a fan of those kinds of passes.
Williams, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Jabari Smith, he's checked in for the Rockets. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, the Mavericks' all-time great Dirk Nowitzki this summer was enshrined in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and received a huge statue outside the Mavericks arena. The iconic one-legged fadeaway immortalized in bronze. Inscribed on the base, loyalty never fades away. 21 letters, one for each of his 21 seasons playing in Dallas. Kevin?
Isn't that something? Great stuff, D.A. Thank you. Lets it go from deep. Oh, MP sinks the triple.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Hardy passes to Williams. Green with a screen on Easton. Dallas moving the ball around. Basket good. Irving's got his second bucket.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession. And a chance now to take a look at some numbers for MP. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. And every season you have teams, Greg, that start out hot only to falter. How do you separate the real from the rest?
Kevin, that's a good question. And one thing is what we call point differential. Doesn't just look at wins and losses, but margins of victory. And it can indicate who's really built to go the distance.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Rashawn Holmes, he's checked in for Maxi Kleber. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Josh Green. And Doncic is subbed in for Hardy. Şengün's checked in for Houston. Fred VanVleet comes in for Green.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Irving with a clean look. Trying to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. The three from MP. They get a hand on it.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Takes a three. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Irving's got rebound number 5 here tonight. A high post shot. They get it back. Second chance shot, and the jumper falls for him. Irving's got 6 points.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
The three from MP. Bangs home the trifecta. MP's got the lead up to 9 now for the Rockets.
Well, solid execution. Fred VanVleet is just so steady. This guy always makes the right basketball play.
Smith for 3. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. MP getting it done for Houston. And his big game just keeps getting bigger. That quarter sees him get over 30 points. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Welcome, one and all. Before we hear Kenny and Shaq's insights on that. Okay, hold up. We have a major situation here in the studio. Someone took my notebook. Who has it?
Did you check every...
And we come back to the game at hand in the first half. Plenty to like for the Rockets.
I don't think you can expect them to perform better.
And that concludes half.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. You look at MP in this one, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
Moment here now for an injury report. Let's find out the news on Jason Tate. David, what's the update?
Thanks, Kevin. I just talked with the Rockets' head athletic trainer. I'm told the tests do show a stress fracture in his foot. Very painful injury and not what he was hoping to hear. Unfortunately, they've ruled him out for tonight and likely for the foreseeable future. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Appreciate the update. Never like to see any kind of injury, Greg.
Yeah, it's one of the toughest parts of the game because you have little to no control over it.
Well, we're obviously hoping for a speedy recovery because we know this about this young guy. He simply loves playing the game.
Hardaway in the front court, along with Williams. The star backcourt of Doncic and Irving are out there. And it's Holmes in at the 5, down low. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. The 3 for Doncic. Another 3 for Dallas.
Making a huge difference from deep tonight. That was a big-time shot.
That's where the bulk of his offense has come from, and they're going to need a few more of them before this one's over.
Doncic against MP. Misses the 3. Mavericks trail by 6. Irving for 3. Şengün with the rebound. Şengün's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. MP against Doncic. The pass to Brooks. Here's Şengün. And here's Green outside. Nailed from three-point land.
3 points.
Green's got his first 3 points of the game.
Oh, not even thinking about it. When Green is catching and firing like that, you know he's feeling it.
Here's Irving. Off the mark with the little step back, Johnny. Rockets leading by 9. And part of the show tonight, Doris, Kyrie Irving's phenomenal handle.
Hey, Kevin, if you ask any NBA player who their favorite to watch is, many will come up with the name Kyrie Irving. It's the ability to have that elite handle, the footwork, the creativity, the ability to shoot a jumper, the pull-up, the lay-in. This guy is absolutely amazing.
And here's MP. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. Following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Nuggets at Ball Arena in Denver. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. Here's Doncic. Doncic gets it to go inside. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Green kicks to MP. There's the triple. Rebound by Williams. Mavericks trail by 12. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. We all know Luka Doncic is a master of one-on-one isolation scoring. Coach Jason Kidd said he knows how to use his body, angles. Sometimes as a coach you want to run all these plays, but at the end of the day, it's about getting him the ball with enough time to be creative. Kevin?
That's right, David. Letting him cook. Thanks to the report. And the basket is good. Doncic has got it back down to a single-digit deficit for Dallas.
And you can just see he's a different player since coming back from halftime.
Back to Brooks. Houston moving it around. And here's MP for 3. Mavericks with the rebound.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
And Holmes throws it down.
Yeah, this offense is rolling. They've been assertive, but they're also playing under control.
I think the communication on...
moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Houston.
I mean, they've been stepping it up in terms of their shooting from distance, and the confidence has been there all game long, leaving the defense to scramble.
Also, they've been living in the lane. They're getting the ball in close, and it's had a devastating impact all game long.
So on the floor for Houston, the wings, Green and Brooks. Alperen Şengün out there with Tari Eason. And it's MP in at the point. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
Jump ball call.
Here's Green. The shot's good. And it's a 4-point Rocket lead.
With his athleticism, Green plays a lot bigger than his listed 6'4" height.
The three for Doncic. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Rockets have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Eason's shot is good. And the Rockets lead by 6.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
And it's Doncic missing.
If you want to cut into a lead, you have got to trust your teammates and move the ball.
The three from MP. Another bucket. Wow.
Hats off to him. I mean, getting to 40 tonight means he's got the longest 40-point streak in history.
Unreal. He's been on a scoring binge the likes we have never seen before. Fires for 3, and again for 3. You can tell he is feeling it.
Kevin, he's on fire.
And the Mavericks call time here. They're down by 12. 1:53 left in the fourth. Jabari Smith, he's jacked in for the Rockets. .153 left in the fourth quarter. There are many ways to build a team, as we know, Doris. Do you prefer building around a star or a more team-based approach?
I think, Kevin, what we have learned unequivocally is that it is not just about collecting talent. Certainly, you need star players to win in the NBA, but so much of this is about how do the pieces fit around. There is a reason it is a team sport, Kevin. Don't overlook the role players around those stars. Just a cold shooting night. Needs to try to make it into the basket.
A 3 from MP. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got his 4th assist in this one.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Houston.
And the big difference here was accuracy from 3-point range.
And once they started sinking shots, it really stretched out the D and created other opportunities. And anytime they got space, they seemed to just knock down another triple.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for MP.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
The shot by Kleba, wide open, and they come right back with their own 3-pointer.
And in nailing the 3 there, he puts a lid on what's been a huge run by the Rockets.
The 3 from MP connects again from distance. He's really sniping them from outside.
Locked in, feeling confident in that 3-point shot.
And Holmes throws it down.
Well, this is what they needed earlier on. At some point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but then again, this run came against a team that may have felt it had already won, and you get the sense it let its guard down.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
You see the offensive force that is Kyrie Irving. Sometimes it's a scoring, right there it's just passing.
And here is MP. The 3. Good, that's another bucket. 60 points. This guy cannot be stopped.
They've had no answer for him in this one.
So we see Houston taking the W here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.